Okay, so the next book is Pet by Akwaeke Emezi. For this one, I'm going to actually read the little summary because it's kind of hard for me to explain what this is about in my own words. So it says, there are no monsters anymore, or so the children in the city of Lucille are taught. Jam and her best friend, Redemption, have grown up with this lesson all their lives. But when Jam meets Pet, a creature, made of horns and colors and claws, who emerges from one of her mother's paintings, and a drop of Jam's blood, she must reconsider what she's been told. Pet has come to hunt a monster, and the shadow of something grim lurks in Redemption's house. Jam must fight not only to protect her best friend, but also to uncover the truth and the answer to the question, how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist? So, in the riveting and timely young adult debut, acclaimed novelist Akwaeke Emezi asks difficult questions about what choices you can make when society around you is in denial. So, yeah. So, in this book, pretty much like monsters are pretty much people who do bad in the city. And it's not like your typical monsters. It's kind of more of like people that are like pedophiles, rapists, killers, even people that are like in the government that are just, doing things that aren't great. Pretty much is what the monsters are like. But in Lucille, the town, it's pretty much banned and stuff like that. But that's what the town thinks. But one of the creatures from our main character, Jam, sorry you guys, Jam, her mom has a painting or whatever, and the creature comes to life pretty much and tells her that her friend Redemption, is in danger, and they're pretty much trying to figure out who in the house and what the danger. Yeah, I thought this book was pretty good. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was a really, really, really short read. And it also has LGBTQ representation. I believe Jam and her friend are transgender. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe for sure that Jam is transgender. So I thought that was pretty good representation. I've never read a book with a trans character in there. And that's not really what the story revolved around. Really, it was more, like I said, what the summaries of. This also talks about abuse and abusive children. So if you have any triggers towards that, please be mindful if you decide to pick up this book, because I don't want anyone to have any like triggers or anything like that when they're reading this. So just be warned about that. But yeah, them delving into that topic and the way it unfolds, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but the way it unfolds was great and really, really heartbreaking. And it was crazy because it was such a short little story. But yeah, I definitely think you guys should pick up this book. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous color, bro. I mean, that cover, I meant to say cover, not color, the hell. It's so freaking pretty, you guys. Okay, so for the next couple of books, I actually don't have physical copies, so I'm gonna try my best when I'm editing this in iMovie to like put little pictures of it or whatever. But y'all, if it don't happen, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna try my best. I really am. Anyways, we're gonna hop right back into it. So the next novel is Luster, and Luster is by Raven Leilani. So pretty much it's a debut novel for her, and the book pretty much follows a Black woman in her 20s who gets involved with this like 40-something-year-old white guy who's actually in an open marriage. And yeah, it pretty much just follows her and them, and not so much her relationship with the guy actually, but more like the relationship she ends up having with the wife of the guy and the daughter, because they actually or the parents or whatever actually adopted a Black girl too, and so she kind of like ends up living with them in this weird way. It was crazy, guys. I was like, what the heck? When she ended up living with them, I was just like, what? Like, it was freaking crazy, guys. And she even just like popped up at the house. Like, I know I shouldn't be spoiling stuff, but like she even just popped up at their house. Like, I think she had just gotten like evicted from her place, and she went over to the she went over to their house. Sorry, guys. It was just so fucking crazy. She went to their place and she started snooping and stuff. And then, like, I think the wife popped up on her and like screamed at her, but not like cuss you out type of screamed at her. She was just like, I think, screaming at her for just like knowing who she was. And then like weirdly she ends up staying with them for like a while, and it was weird because it's like there was resentment with, like, the wife had resentment towards her, but at the same time it's just like nobody forced you to ask her, like, to keep her to stay, like, you know, for have her stay with you, you know what I mean? It was just so freaking weird. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what the main character's freaking name was actually, but yeah, it was crazy. As far as like the writing, oh, I don't know if I said how many stars I gave it. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And I also listened to it on audiobook. That's why I don't have it. But it was really, really, really nice. It kind of gave like a poetic vibe, not like poetry slam, but kind of like poetry slam. I guess that's a good way to actually describe it. And so it was just really, really intense and kind of sad and heartbreaking at times, but really real. And I could kind of relate to the main character in the story, kind of like, you know, being in life and kind of not really having your footing and stuff, you know, and kind of, you don't really know where you're gonna go or what you're gonna do with your life, and kind of feeling lost and stuff. So I definitely could relate to the main character. But yeah, it's definitely a refreshing novel if you guys are looking for something new, something kind of, you know, spicy, a little bit funny at times, with a little twist and stuff. Yeah, you should definitely pick it up. Okay, so for our last and final book, we have The Poet X, and this is by Elizabeth Acevedo. I also listened to this book on audiobook, and yeah, so pretty much this book follows a young girl in Harlem, and she discovers slam poetry as a way to understand her mother's religion and her own relationship to the Poet X. Like it said, you know, you kind of follow our main character, who I don't remember. Oh, Xiomara, that was her name. And she's 15, and she's kind of going through like tensions and conflict with her family and stuff like that. And you know, she's been writing, and she kind of discovers slam poetry, and it's a good way for her to kind of express herself with all the feelings that she's been feeling with her like parents and family, and like being at school, and also like boys and things like that. And the book was kind of written in like, you know, a slam poetry way, and it was also narrated by the author who wrote it. So I thought that was really cool. She definitely had like a good voice to it, and very intense, just really made you feel Xiomara and like what she was going through, especially when she was kind of arguing with her like parents and stuff like that, especially her mother, since her mom was extremely religious and stuff like that. She kind of you know, really was on her head about religion, and kind of just not wanting her to be about anything else. And you know, the intense feeling she felt to her mom, especially there was one scene where like her and her mom just really, really get into it, and they like, she blows up on her mom, and she like pretty much tells her that she hates her. Like, you can just, you know, really feel that when I was listening to it, so you could really feel just, you know, the anger, and I could just really relate. It's just so hard to, you know, really love something, and like your parents just don't get it. And it's even worse for her end because, you know, they're extra religious, so I can only imagine how, you know, they're like, you cannot do anything else, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really, really liked it. And she kind of had a love interest in there. I thought they were cute. They had a little sweet little love interest and stuff like that. And she was great at slam poetry, girl, obviously. So yeah, you guys, that was a good, quick, fun read. I think I listened to it like in a day. It was only like a few hours long, so I'm pretty sure the book is pretty short. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth the pick up because it was amazing. Especially if you like poetry, this is definitely the book for you. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. As always, please comment down below if you stuck through all of this. You guys, please bear with me. I haven't recorded in a while, so it was a little rough around the edges. I don't even think I explained some of these books that great or really said how I feel that that great, but I promise with the next couple of reviews it'll get better, because I'm thinking about doing compilation reviews of my books, the books that I read, instead of doing one each time, because I just finished a book so fast, like it's just so hard for me to like record that constantly and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna do like wrap-ups, you know, each month of all the books that I read, and if I really feel like doing a very in-depth review of a book because it just blows me away, then I definitely will do so. But that is it for today's video. Like I said, leave a comment down below, tell me what you thought, if you plan on reading the book, and yeah, bye you guys.